Alright, we got Skyro playing Tenri in the black this time versus MVAKM playing Sedge in the red. And they have swapped sides, so we did a game earlier before this one where they were playing this exact matchup. However, Skyro was on player 1 side. MVAKM this time going to be player 1. And we're going to see how this goes. Funnily, this was actually the first game chronologically of the two, so we're going to get to see how they were playing before that one. But nothing too different so far, just I think everybody kind of knows how to play the first 4 turns of this map.
Well, as the tournament went on, there have been developments, so maybe not.
Oh, okay.
I'm noticing Skyro really likes the early mage to grab the hideout idea. So I assume they're gonna go into a thief next? Well, relatively early at least. Because the hideout is a bit awkward to capture.
Yeah, and I mean, like, sometimes we've seen games where people just skip hideout entirely depending on the map. There are definitely advantages and disadvantages to, you know, taking it. Like, if you just want that extra bit of tempo in the early game, you can. Okay, Skyro's gonna go center this time. Yes, both these players big fans of their play styles. MVAKM once again keeping Sedge in the corner.
Yep.
And oh, he's actually strong enough to just one-shot the sword that time, so he's doing some good work there.
We saw how this went last time. You know, getting a few early kills with Sedge. Not necessarily a game decider, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes it's worth just like going for the positioning advantage you can get by keeping your opponent's commander in the corner. Ooh, and the mage is actually going to be the aggressive one here. And I have to say, I actually really like the thief buy. Typically, I'm not a huge fan of them normally early on because it's a bit of a bait. You can invest a lot into a unit that can't actually fight, and then suddenly your opponent has knights on your side of the map. And it's like, oh, well, I've got a thief to fight them. But in this case, I think the overextension on capturing those corner villages is like so easy to fall into. Especially if your opponent has the hideout, that you can just get punished for it pretty badly, actually.
Yep. And I mean, there's still the concern of like the thief not getting you enough value, to be honest. It still happens. It's just that when you're not like when we're not certain what's the opportunity cost of building a thief, then they look pretty good.
Yeah.
Until we figure that out, and then they don't look so good anymore.
And then people figure out more stuff, and then they become good again. So.
Yep.
It changes a lot. I think out of every unit that they added to Wargroove that was like very different from like Advanced Wars, I think Thief is like one of the most interesting units in the game. And, oh, we're gonna see a Knight crit. Oh, that's such a good play.
Yeah, that's a classic Tenri play. You know, Tenri can get rid of your mage without directly grabbing it. And that's why we say, you know, you really should have 2 mages against Tenri, because this happens.
Yeah, that changes things quite a lot. So Sedge will kill this Knight. And the mage will get into position to, you know, be useful here and defend Sedge. But this dragon can go and kind of rip and tear in that bottom left corner.
Rip and tear.
Yep, and there goes that village. Could probably grab the next village as well. just no anti-airs are going to reach that time. And because Sedge has to be like kind of very conservative with his units now, because you know, like there's nothing really close by to defend any of these from the dragon. Like you just have to put everything around this mage, and that allows Tenri to be, you know, aggressive in the top.
Yeah, that's like mobility, I guess. The perks of mobility.
Yep. Oh, but speaking of, that knight in the top right going to take full advantage of the fact that there's nothing up there to stop it, so you get a bit of punishment by itself. And oh, now that Tenri doesn't have groove and that there's a bit of money on MVAKM side, it's just going to be like
that's how much money did he save last turn? That's
I'll make this quick.
well, I get. Oh, never mind. I thought he just built 2 golems, but no, he built 2 over 2 turns.
yeah.
And now, like, it's a race between Tenri and the golem to see who reaches the knight first. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, Tenri is not close to having another groove, so these golems are actually going to be a big threat. And ooh, wow, this knight getting so much value. Nothing's stopping it. Like these swords could maybe hit it, but that's about it. Like the golem will come and bully out eventually, but that's the golem now having to be defensive where it doesn't really want to be.
A cold wind blows.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, let's see. This is looking a bit better for Sedge now, compared to like another game we saw. And this knight is
Oh yeah, the knight's completely trapped.
I mean, it did its damage, and you know,
I mean, it can hit the
I
thief
think
as
it's
well,
fine.
and like that's actually like a pretty good gold trade. Like on top
Yeah.
of doing all the damage to the villages, like
Although hitting the thief is like, your opponent doesn't need to heal it for it to be useful, right?
true, but it does make it very frail later on, which is quite important. Okay.
Yep. If your opponent ever heals the thief, then it was the right decision. Oh, I guess, yeah, especially as Sedge, you hitting the thief is good because, you know, your opponent probably doesn't want a low HP unit running around
Yeah.
in their army.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that actually. I mean, I was more thinking
Yeah,
it's easier
that's-
just to kill later, but
Yeah, no, that it can actually be a negative in your army if you have low HP units. Because then Sedge gets to like get better group chains and stuff.
yeah, we've definitely seen some games where people have hit units or hit like enemy commanders with their units or something like that, like just leave damage units near an enemy Sedge, and it's just like cool. Now
And
Sedge
then
can do
they
whatever he wants.
disappear.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ooh, that's a
But yeah, the
very
game
cheap
is-
round of buys there. I guess MVAKM was
I
supposed to
wonder
save
what groove suggests is the real question.
it. 132.
So still quite a bit away, but Sedge likes the current game state being stable, which I guess is kind of why Skyro is starting to attack in the bottom. Doesn't want the game to be too stable.
Yeah, there needs to be some instability here. And yeah, like, Skyro's at 80% now, which means Tenri has a good opportunity to get another groove. Ooh, and
On
this
the
is
river.
it's a bold place to put Sedge right now. And ooh, actually gonna go for this here? Okay. Oh yeah, just backs it, backs this entire thing up with like a lot of the army.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Tenri doesn't have groove to surprise Sedge with a lethal.
Yet though? I mean, this is 87%, 89. Ooh.
Oh, well, no, suicides aren't to build groove, so this
No.
is just to kill the golem, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, Tenri's gonna have Groove relatively soon. Yeah, just like any
Oh,
amount
I
of
guess
fighting.
Tenri's gonna grab that mage, right? Because that mage can crit the dragon.
Or just, move your own
Well,
knight to
yeah,
do it.
effectively remove the mage.
Yeah. Either of those two options work.
Yeah, and I mean, when you can groove your own units, it's generally better to do so.
Yeah, although, ooh, that suicide onto the golem plus like other combats has pushed Sedge into 157, so it's gonna be a
I
couple
mean,
turns
you
yet,
have to
but
fight before he gets it. So, well, no, is the knight trapped? No, not really. The knight is fine. Worst case, it will escape top right.
okay, we're gonna see.
I think this might be a situation where you have the leeway to not use Sedge Groove here. So you wanna actually kill the units to get more groove.
Yeah, that said, I think Sedge is now valuing like repositioning the army to fight Tenri because.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like with a sword or something.
Oh right, yeah. But yeah, I think just wanted to like kill that, jump in the balloon, go face off against Tenri because Skyro is actually doing a really good job on the map there.
Yeah. And there's also well, that thief is that's the funny thief where it's in hex. It's in range to be hexed to death to get the money back. Oh wait, do you actually get the money if you hex? I think you do.
I
Yeah,
think you do,
should.
yeah. But there are
Yeah,
two
you
mages
should.
covering this, so. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess you could just hex the
Yeah.
entire army. That's pretty good value.
It's a free hex because the thief gives you the money back from the hex.
Yeah, you do lose the witch, but
Yeah, I mean losing the witch is never great, but I mean I guess there was a mage that would be able to punish the witch regardless. So if you're gonna lose the witch anyway, then might as well do it. Not that you should, but sometimes you do what you gotta do.
yep. Ooh, this is now looking very scary on the stronghold. These forces coming from below. It's almost crit range for the knight. If those two units were one tile closer, the game would be over.
That said, Sedge it has been building groove this whole time, so Tenri and that top army are gonna have to be careful.
Oh, Skyro can just back up though. Sedge is not close enough. And I think
Yeah, but-
MVAKM is just gonna have to swing south to defend. 'Cause
Yeah, I mean, keeping your stronghold alive is a pretty high priority. And there's no like dragon to really push away golems. But yeah, I mean, dragons are quite vulnerable to get like if they ever stand next to a forest, then we can propel a mage into that and kill your dragon.
And now we're just gonna see all of this stuff fall. Skyro's just gonna hit so many villages and get so much econ advantage there.
Yeah, that's a big issue for MVAKM here, as the economy has been completely flipped.
I think Skyro was actually ahead at the start of this turn and has now just swung it even further in his favor.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen games on this map where Sedge is like really far behind and somehow makes it work. The tier 2 is quite strong, but you also have to have timer advantage in these situations. So we'll see next turn how the timer situation is. 20, more than 20 minutes is pretty good for MVAKM, but we'll see how much Skyro has.
I mean, I think the more important thing here, though, is not only the time advantage, you need to just, like, not die advantage, because,
Well, there is that too.
yeah, and also, you need to actually have the tier 2 groove, which, sadly, is escaping MVAKM right now. Like, we're almost at turn 20, and he still doesn't have groove.
This rifle is a very good buy. It's like applying pressure and picking up kills without like entering the range of Sedge's army. So you're doing damage without building groove for the opponent.
Actually, at the point now where it's has run out of bullets. It's not
Yeah.
really where you want your opponent's rifle to be.
It's always a good sign when your rifle runs out of bullets because it means it hasn't moved for 3 turns and has gotten good value.
198%. Oh, that's so close.
That's basically having groove.
Yeah, on the next turn anyway.
Yeah, I mean, your opponent has to respect it, so it's like if you had it.
Okay.
Power of the
And now we're gonna
And-
see
oh.
Tenri. Is she gonna get
On
killed
a
here?
beach,
Knight's gonna go
grabs
down.
knight, okay. Oh, I was gonna say, like, it's a bit weird grabbing a knight when there's golems in the enemy army, but
Oh. Double
might
witch
be
hex. Oh no, I think Sedge is just dead here.
yeah, that's it's not about the knight, it's about the sedge. And the side it opened up.
Yep. And I think
Exactly 40% left.
30,
Golem
39
won't
actually.
kill. You need another side. Okay,
Oh.
well, there's another side.
Yep. And dog will do the trick.
And that's it.
That is it. What's gonna get the
Sedge
kill?
finally gets tier 2 groove and
Bang.
boom. Poor Sedge.
Rest in peace. And ooh, yeah, very one-sided game as far as kills go. And I guess like that's just the unfortunate thing about Sedge. He just takes a long time to get online. And Tenri is very consistent at being able to gain advantage because it's so difficult to play around a Tenri tier 1 groove.
Yeah, I mean, even the tier 2 to be honest, but it looks like Skyro is mostly using the tier 1, which is probably how you should play to be honest, because the tier 2 is better, but not by that much. Although I think the tier 2 has some crazy fun plays and good potential for lethals, but the tier 1 pressure of like your mages getting killed, your maybe sometimes a golem getting grabbed, it's makes you play in a way where like you have to have spares of every unit, and that's kind of already giving Tenri an edge.
Yeah, like you don't really want to have like
Yeah.
4 mages on the map.
It's basically like Tenri is very good at punishing mistakes and also adds adds a bunch of stuff to the list of mistakes you can make.
Yeah.
So yeah, here like, takes only a few mistakes, a mage here and there. And there we go, this happened.
So well played to Skyro. They're gonna take this game, and we're going on to the next one.